Hey guys, I'm Chris, and this is my 125 gallon piece of the Reef. It is Friday night in the house. Everybody is kind of gone, doing their own thing. It's my chance to catch up on some labs, do a little sump cleaning, blow off a few rocks, feed my guys, and kind of just take stock of the week and what's been going on in my tank. I decided to do a YouTube channel or do some videos on YouTube to help other people the way I've been helped by a lot of the guys who are out there in the community. I remember months ago, 24 months, 2 years ago, watching videos from CJ of CJ's Aquariums and some from Rico of Rico's Reefs, the guys from BRS, the guys from Marine Depot, Reefs, basically all these, fellow hobbyists, professionals out there in the community doing what they do. My son goes to an aquaculture high school as part of his curriculum. He started growing corals there, and just kind of rekindled my love of marine tanks. I had tanks 16, 17 years ago, and when I look at the technology today compared to what we had back then, it's so different, and I just long to have a tank. So about the time CJ was playing with his JBJ, I looked at the JBJ, and there was a sale at Petco, and I was kind of like, you know what, I'm not going to do the JBJ. I'm going to get a 40-gallon breeder. I put a 20-gallon sump underneath it. I ran an Ocean Revive, that I got his suggestion on, and man, it was like game on. The corals grew like crazy. The fish were super healthy. It was just an amazing tank. And then I kind of longed for something a little bit bigger. And I started looking at tanks. I started looking at having one made. And one day I was like, you know what? I'm going to take a look on Craigslist. And this 125-gallon tank was sitting up in Hartford, Connecticut. I'm down in Fairfield, Connecticut. I sent my friend with a pickup truck and $300. And he brought me back a 125-gallon Marineland tank and a stand. So, that's how this tank came to be. I painted the stand and I painted the rim of the tank white so that it would blend in a little bit more in our little kind of home office, old, back bedroom, and set her up, put a trigger system sump underneath, and kind of called it a day. And off we went. Had a lot of LPS corals in here, and a bunch of fish, and didn't really do well initially with SPS, and I was like kind of cool with that. Had a clam didn't last too long, but you know what, I was enjoying the tank and enjoying the fish, and nobody was dying. It looked great. And then I got the hankering to try some things a little different, like we all do in the hobby. See if we can do things better. And I think what happened was sometimes the opposite of better is best. What do I mean by that? Somebody tells you that their system is the best, or the latest and greatest, and we try to play catch up with the way somebody else's tank looks. And next thing I knew, I was dealing with really bad Bryopsis outbreak. Probably about 9 months ago it started, actually more than 9 months ago, and dealing with some aptasia that had come in on a piece of coral, and I hadn't noticed it initially. And next thing I knew, I had this huge Bryopsis outbreak. Every single rock in this tank was covered by it, and there was aptasia everywhere. So treated with fluconazole, and after a month the tank looked awesome. No more Bryopsis, yes aptasia, and yes massive phosphate nitrite spike from the die-off of the Bryopsis. Multiple water changes, nothing kind of helped it. It was just never ending. Running GFO, bio pellets, you name it, I tried it to try to get it back. And lost a bunch of things. Lost a Superman Montipora, lost a Jedi Mind Trick, lost some acro. Nothing really happened with any of my acans or scalemias, barabankies, but it was quite upsetting, and I actually contemplated maybe taking the tank down. The Aptasia problem was wicked also. I took a multi-pronged approach. One of my prongs of the multi-pronged approach was this guy right here. That is an Aptasia eating machine. And my copper banded butterfly did quite the job. Now he eats mice as shrimp because he'd starve, because, you know, between him, a laser, Aptasia X, and Bergia, there is no more Aptasia in the tank. About 3 months ago, I decided to switch over to the Aquaforest system. I thought, you know, okay, I'm ready to go. I want to put, mostly SPS in the tank. I want to have a bunch of wrasses. I want to see them swimming through the SPS. And of all the things I've probably done in this tank, the one thing I probably regret the most actually is going over to the Aquaforest method. And this is not a slam on the Aquaforest method. This is just, you know, it's not working for me. I've given it 3 months. I've been on the forums. You know, they're incredibly receptive on Facebook and you know, the other forums about like what you should do, and people are really helpful. And I've just grown, I would say, tired of not having the kind of information with their system that I've grown accustomed to with like the Red Sea. You know, I kind of want to know if I use their KH buffer, you know, what is it going to raise my KH for every 27 gallons of water, you know, 100 liters. I kind of want to know, like, why their balling method, which says I should be using, you know, 5 times as much of each of the solutions than I currently do. Why am I at 20% of what it is? And I think, you know, if you're going to start an aquarium on Aquaforest, I think it's probably a really simple system and easy to use if you take it at face value. But if you like to crunch numbers, you know, you do your calcium level and it's 380 and your goal is 400, I don't think it works out so well, because there's a lot of waiting and watching and seeing how your tank responds. So right now, because I've been a little bit disappointed in the system, I probably will be switching over to kind of a modified form of the Triton method. I really like that their goal is to match natural seawater, and that's what my goal is going to be. I'm going to try to follow the suggestions of people like Mike Paletta, Sanjay, you know, who talk about not necessarily chasing the phosphate as much as, you know, the Aquaforest method does, where it goes to ultra low nutrient levels. My tank was doing fine until I decided to chase these numbers, and then once I started to chase these numbers, the nitrate phosphate kind of got away from me. And, you know, also I think that had something to do with the huge die-off because of the Bryopsis. But as I switch the system over, I feel that it's time to give back to the community some of the things that I've seen in this tank, and some of the things I will see in this tank. If anybody's having the same kind of issues that I'm having or have had, you know, and I could be of any help, you know, I welcome, you know, questions. I welcome suggestions. So anyway, like I said, it's Friday night. I got the guys in the tank over here. They're eating like pigs because they get a little extra food on Fridays. They're swimming around. They're all happy. Everything just got cleaned in there. So it's time to cut this video short. It's 10 minutes. It's a little longer than I want it to go. And I hope to see you for my next video. Take care. Have a good night.